Hi, my name's Jennifer. I'm a nurse anesthetist over here with Concord and High Point Anesthesia. Kind of want to go through how to chart in Provation. Provation's the EMR with River Oaks Endoscopy Center. Once you log in, this is a test patient, but once you log in, what you'll see is the patient list here. And down below that, you'll see all of your patients. Actually, all of the patients for all of the GI doctors will be listed here. So you may have 3 or 4 GI doctors. So you may have like 30 or 40 plus cases listed here. So I wanted to kind of go through how to navigate this EMR. So if you look at the top here, where you follow along patient name and MRN, that's where you'll find your patient for the day. If you go all the way across, you're going to see the provider. This upside down triangle, you'll go ahead and click on that. It's a left click for me on mine. But once you're in there, it'll list all of the doctors, okay, for the day. So instead of one doctor, it'll have like 3 or 4. So all you have to do is deselect this and select the doctor that you're working with on that given day. So this is going to be this particular doctor here, okay? So these are all of his cases. We're just going to look at this one today. This is Mr. Day. So what you'll go ahead and do is click on, this is the hamburger here, 3 dots. You'll go ahead and do another left click. The most important thing here is if you want to chart at all, you need to select patient charting. Once you do that, you'll see this. This is the important area, and the only 2 places that you're going to be, I'm going to just scroll so you can see what's here. All right. The only 2 places you're going to play in is going to be anesthesia note and anesthesia billing. Those are the only 2 that you're going to use once you get to this hamburger over here, and it'll bring you right here. All right, so let's go ahead and begin anesthesia note. All right, so what you see, this is what you're going to see the day of. All right, so here's Mr. Day again. You can see everything about him, his MRN number, his date of birth, okay, all up here. Allergies, any limb alerts will appear here. And then if you look across, you're going to see the preoperative assessment. So if you get one of the black folders, which is self-pay, or the other folder, which is Medicare, TRICARE, you're going to be doing solo anesthesia temporarily till after September 1st, possibly before we'll stop. But anyway, so your colors for those are the yellow folders are for the TRICARE, Medicare, Medicaid, and the black folders are self-pay. Okay, so once you're into that patient, you'll go ahead and start with your pre-op assessment. You can click on the medication allergies. You'll be able to confirm or deny any of these. I'm just going to kind of scroll down. You can confirm that there's no allergies. Scrolling all the way down, you can add allergies, take away allergies. They're going over the important areas that you may want to go through. The most important thing as you're going through all of your pre-ops and intra-op and all of that, you're going to want to hit confirm to get to the next, okay? Once you complete all of this, you will be able to finalize. If you do not do all of those, answering all these questions and going all the way to the bottom and confirming to the next, you won't be able to close your chart, okay? So I just wanted to show you some health assessment here. This kind of goes through, so let's say your attending is taking care of this for you. It's not a solo anesthesia. This will all be done. And sometimes the nursing staff will also fill some of this stuff out, the allergies and some of the stuff. They can't fill out your airway assessment and those kinds of things. But anyway, so if you go down the medical history, you can see the cardiovascular history where you can add and adjust any of these things. Diabetes, we can say we have diabetes, and then we can answer whether they have diet controlled, insulin pump, metformin, those kinds of things, when they last took it, just to kind of give you an idea of what the pre-op looks like. Okay, really easy, real straightforward. Okay, there's your pregnancy test information, any anesthesia reactions, social. Okay, so once you've answered all of that, we'll click to the next. And there you'll be able to have your other assessment. So what you're going to do at this point, once you get to this, it'll also reconfirm this is the Medicare. So this at this time is solo anesthesia if you're CRNA. Again, later on, this is going to be MD directed. So you'll see your pre-assessment here. You'll go ahead and click on each one of these. Wanted to kind of go through that so you can just read them if you wanted to. You can see that they've been NPO. Okay, do they have pain? No. Airway assessment, you assessed all of that. Normal dentition, or let's say that they have dentures. So we can do full uppers, partial lowers, pretty super easy. This system is pretty easy to use. All right. Heart, lung, there's your full airway exam right there, okay? And then you can add your ASAs, Malin patties, all that kind of good stuff. So the next thing is the anesthesia consent needs to be signed, okay? So I had to move away to get it to pop up, or at least that's what works for me. So I clicked that. Now I need to get my anesthesia consent. This is also where you will go to confirm that you have a consent done. Make sure you have a consent done before you roll back. All right. And so you can see here the consent was not signed because there's not a green check. So you just click on this. You'll have an iPad to use in the pre-op area to help you finish the job here. They have a pen on the back. I've just been using the patient's finger and my finger. So we'll just go ahead and sign, save. So that's the patient, okay? And then here I am. I'll just do an X so they're different. And this is what it looks like when you've completed the signatures for your consent and you know you're good to roll back. The next one is the pregnancy waiver. If the patient is 55 or younger, they need to sign, they need to do this. So you have an A and B option. So I'll just kind of show you. A is, I understand that the pre-procedure pregnancy test was done. A negative result does not absolutely guarantee the negativity. The other one says basically, if a pregnancy test is not performed, I understand I've been given the opportunity to have the test performed, and I elect to proceed with the proposed procedure without a pregnancy test. So you have this here, and you have to still do this only if they're 55 and below per this facility, okay? All right, so we're gonna hit next. Again, confirm your step, and then you can see we are set to go, and we're done with the pre-op version, okay? All right. So then if you look over at the side, there's a lot of items that we're not going to be using, but I'm going to go ahead and go to the procedure log. Okay, so I'm going to pull out of here so you can kind of see what it all looks like. Now we're in the procedure to start charting and start our cases. In order for the vital signs to slave, we need to start by setting the room that we are in, okay? So once you click here, this is where the room number should go. It's going to only be R1 to 4, so room 1 through room 4. So you select this and you scroll all the way down. I'm sorry, it's procedure 1 through 4. So you just select which procedure you're in. I was in 3 on Monday, so I'll just select that one. Okay, and then important here, this area right here, all entries, that's the best place to be. That's the sweet spot. So let's say we want to go ahead and start placing our oxygen. So if you look over here, you can use nasal cannula. Let's say we'll do that. You can change the numbers of the amount of oxygen like this and hit save. Same thing for the mask. All you have to do is hit save to add it to the log, okay? So this EMR Provation is a chronological order. So as you do it, it'll just place each number as you go along with time. If you can kind of see this, these were done on a different day, but for the purposes of this, we put the oxygen on, okay? And then I'm going to go ahead and do a little free text. You can do spontaneously ventilating, and then you can do a little propofol, DTT. So that lets everybody know that the propofol you're giving in the room is going to be on a drip, so you can chart it all at one time. That was a Dr. Manny Smart Genius tip there. So I've been using that and that works very well. Okay. All right, so we did the oxygen, and then we look at the medicines, and then we need an EKG going on. Okay. Let me go back to this one. This is is it the cross? Hold on, let me check. Yes, this is the cross. So again, I have not used it that long, but it's good to know. So this cross right here is your custom entry. You're going to use custom entry. Go over here to custom, and there's no EKG noted, and we have to have an EKG noted. So there you are with your sinus rhythm. If you want to do something extra, I like to do sinus rhythm unless otherwise specified. You don't have to do that. That's just me. Okay, and so you're going to hit save, and so that's logged in for you. Okay, all that's left is going to be the medicines you're going to be given. All right, but before you do that, I needed to back up. This anesthesia start time is important. It is found into procedure. So once you hit procedure 3, you go down to procedure and hit your start time. Okay, that begins when you're in the room. Okay, then you go down to procedure log and you document all your medicines. Okay, so to see everything, you do all entries. But to add your IV fluid, I'm going to scroll on over this way, and you can see that we have some IV fluid. If your nurse forgets to select hung, 1 liter hung, then you can't chart your infused. So if you have a problem with it, that's most likely the problem. So you can always adjust it. So let's say we have a liter of normal saline. For the case, we did, no, that's too much. We'll say we did 100. It's not letting me do that. Let me see. There you go, 100, and then hit save. And you can see that your normal saline popped up onto this is your intra-op record of all the things that you've given and done. Okay. All right. So let's say the case wraps up. All right. So then you're going to go back to your procedure. We're done. Scope is out. Okay. You can go ahead and get over to PACU and hit this for your stop time. Okay. These also have to be selected. Okay. This is all your positioning, and this is all listed under procedure. Okay. And you can confirm, hit the next step. This is what you've done inside the room as it was explained to me. All right, so we have our oxygen. We never gave Narcan for this procedure. We never gave that, and we never gave that. So in the event that you ended up giving, let's say, Zofran for some nausea, you would have to come back here. I would go ahead and hit not for everything, and you can always come back and add it back later. That way you don't forget. Okay. All right, so there's that. For the additional stuff for the discharge handoff stuff, you'll also want to be selecting these things. Depending on who your attending is, they may want to do that. I know Dr. Patil does that on the day she's here with us. And then if you did solo, you would do this. My tip and trick is I always add like 30 minutes. We'll say 57. So I do that. And that way, if I forget to do it later, it's at least in there. And so that's all set. The last thing is up here. I'm going to go to the right. This paintbrush. Once you're sure you've done everything that you want to do, you can hit e-sign if you're with MD supervision. For now, this is what was told to me. Hit e-sign if you're MD supervision. But if you're solo, you'll hit e-sign and finalize. If you hit this by accident, thinking you're done, but you found out you needed to fix something, you can amend it and it opens it back up to edit it. I thought I could, for example, finalize pre-op once I've done, like finalize just the pre-op, but that ended up finalizing the entire chart. So don't do that, okay? But it was easy fix. It was just an amend, and then I was able to get up in there. So Dr. Manny's going to be fixing all of this because he's amazing, making it so it's more convenient, makes more sense as we go along. A couple things to note is if you decide to look at your next patient while you're intra-op charting, that's a problem. So if you get out of this, I'm going to say e-sign. If you get out of this and to look at your next patient while vital signs and things are recording, it'll stop all of that. So my recommendation is to stay in until the case is done. And then when your case is done, then you can get back to it and look at all these. Just to go back through it one more time. You've got, once you log in, you have all of the patients showing for the day. You go over to the provider, click the upside down triangle. You can deselect this and then just select the given doctor that's on the day that's for your room. I do that instead of room because sometimes the doctor can move to a different room and then you don't have your cases with you. All right. Then there's your hamburger. You're going to select your hamburger again. Nothing can be done until you hit patient charting. From there, again, you've got the billing and the anesthesia note. I'm just going to go over this part before we go over the billing part. So let's click into the note. I'm just doing this a little quicker this time. Once you log in to this particular patient, under the anesthesia note, pre-op, you've got your meds. You go through those, go through all your history, and here's your assessment and the consent. 55 or younger, stop here. If not, bypass. Okay. And then you're confirming at each step on the right. Okay. All right. Once you're ready to go to the room, I've already hit start. So let's say we made it. We're done with pre-op. Let's go to the room. We hit the procedure, hit current time. Okay. Now you're ready to rock and roll. Here's your timeout completed. I've been doing this with each one. I didn't bring it up the first go around because there's a lot of information to cover, but for now I would just do this until Dr. Manning, everybody tells you otherwise. So I just hit, timeout whenever it was done. All right. And then over here again, we're going to go over to the procedure log to continue about. So once you're in here, you have all your entries, but remember, you hit your anesthesia start. What goes after that? Nothing can happen till you get your room going. So here's your procedure 3. You've already started your anesthesia start. Next is your oxygen. Hit whatever, let's say we're doing a OSA guy and we're doing an EGD. So there we go. There's our face mask. All right, so you got your oxygen, and then back to the EKG is it free text? No, it's the custom. So the custom entry is going to be where you get your this is what pops up, your EKG. So here we go. Again, sinus rhythm. If you want other, patient and sinus rhythm unless otherwise specified, save, boom. So you have your EKG, you have your oxygen, and then we can go ahead and do all the medicines and things. So we've already done timeout. We mentioned we've already started. Everything's on and ready to go. So let's say you give your Lido, you can go up and down, so, and then save to document. I'm going to go over so you can see it was documented there. Okay. And then you finish your case and you want to add anything extra. Let's say we gave 200 propofol. Nothing to waste on that waste sheet. We do have to waste propofol here. So on this tester guy, we've already documented 2 other vials of propofol given. So let's say this was like a longer case. It's going to total it right next to you, which will make it easy on your waste sheet if you did it this way. But again, I like to do it the Dr. Manny way, which is charted at the end, and then free text, propofol, GTT drip. Okay. So, all right. So we did IV fluids next because we finished the case, and then we're going to do, well, this was an EGD, we'll just do 50. Okay, perfect. And you can see this, and again, if you did do frequent charting of each thing, it will total it out to the right. Okay, so you're done with the case. So let's go ahead and move on. So again, this is going to show that I've already stopped the time because I already went through this one time through, but you would have to actually put the stop time. You would have to hit vital signs normal here and click yes, 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 okay? And then confirm the step, boom, boom. All right, so that's all been done and I feel confident about it. So now I'm ready to finalize. So you can hit that. I'm just going to hit e-sign for now. Okay, so all right, last step. In order to get back to billing, you can click this and go to billing. So here's billing. This is what billing looks like. It's pretty easy. The purpose of it is to find out what procedure was done and any additional diagnoses. So right here is where you would write colon polyps, gastritis. Okay. Oh, I messed that up. That's not what you would write. So this is where you would do polypectomy and biopsies. All right, down here is where you're gonna, with the diagnosis, is where you'll add the colon polyps, hemorrhoids, gastritis. Okay. And then scrolling down, you can see all the ASA that was documented previously and any medical issues that was easily documented on the tab buttons. Okay. All right, so we're all done with the billing portion. We added what we wanted. Literally in the billing section, all you have to do is add anything extra, as upper GI, colon, and anything they did extra. Biopsies is a common one. And then all of the diagnoses, all the way down to the hemorrhoids, have to be in here in order to bill correctly, okay? And then hit confirm step. If you don't do these things, and you are MD supervised, your attending will have to go behind you and will probably have to stay later. So it'd be kind if you could add in the full diagnoses as it's given. And then just hit e-sign. And again, e-sign for now if you're MD supervised, and e-sign and finalized if you're solo until otherwise told. Okay. I hope this was helpful. And again, don't forget your room numbers. Don't forget to add your oxygen. Don't forget your start, stop, and timeout time. I hope this was helpful. I'm sure it was a lot of fun on my end to do. All right. Thank you, everybody.